Hey guys, what's going on? Walnut here, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to complete both the Sparrow and Fuse section of the new Deep Stone Crypt Raid. But before we get into today's video, I just wanted to let you guys know that I do stream live on Twitch 5 days a week, and links to that will be down below in the description, so feel free to hit that and drop a follow, drop by, say hi. We are a small community, but growing fast, so hope to see you guys there. Now, let's get into today's video. When you first load into the Deep Stone Crypt, you'll be tasked with finding the Deep Stone Crypt. Follow the path I take, kill the enemies, and you'll end up at a latch that will open and you'll be able to enter. Once you enter inside of the latch, you have a little bit of a Sparrow section that you can go through. You can mess around with your friends, have a little bit of fun, make your way towards the end, and you will find yourself in front of an airlock. Once you're inside the airlock, all players must be inside in order for the other side to open. Once the airlock opens up, you'll walk out and notice quickly that you will have a debuff in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen called Frostbite. In order to get rid of this Frostbite, you must stand inside of an orange circle. These circles will be a dome almost, and it will help you to lose these stacks. The best way for me to describe this encounter to you guys is it's pretty much another version of Crota, where you had the maze and you had to move from section to section in order to get rid of the debuff so then you can move properly again. However, this time, if Frostbite reaches 10, you will die, and you will have to either be respawned back at the very start or whatever checkpoint you were at last, or get revived by a teammate. More likely than not, you'll probably end up back at the start. So just follow this path and you'll be alright. Also, I should note that there is currently a glitch in the game that allows you to maintain the shelter perk, which fights this debuff. In order to do that, I'll show it right now on screen, but should it be patched for some reason, you guys can just follow my path and you'll be fine all the way through. Also, before I forget guys, it should be noted that you don't actually have to take the pikes that are given to you in the game. You can instead use your own Sparrows. It is a little bit easier to get through the encounter. They're a little bit more maneuverable, have a little bit more speed, and as well also have a bit more health. However, there is an achievement for getting all 6 pikes to the end of the encounter. This will result in you getting an exotic Sparrow. It's pretty sweet, but in the end, it's up to you guys as to how you want to take the encounter on. But I can always just mute audio like this and just play like music in the background. And I'll just be talking over it.
Just a sec, yeah, you have to let me know what,
Alright, here, I'll just... You guys are muted for now. Like, encounters though, where we're actually fighting stuff, I'm gonna have it unmuted. Yeah. Alright guys, so once you make your way through the maze, you'll have to get off your sparrows and enter the room. All 6 players must be inside of the room in order for the next door to open. Outside of the door is one last little sparrow section, and then you'll be on to the next encounter, which is in order to get there, once again, just follow my path and you'll be just fine. Congratulations, you've made it to the first true encounter, disabling the crypt security. In order to complete this encounter, you'll need to split into 2 main teams. The first team will be on the blue side, while the second team will be on the dark side. On each team, you will have 1 dedicated scanner and 1 dedicated ad clear. This will be crucial in order to maintain balance between the number of enemies while still being able to call out what panels below your operator will need to shoot. This is what we will need to do in order to start the damage phase. The layout of the room is pretty simple. On both sides, you have 4 pillars, each of which have a glass panel that you can look through. By looking through them, the person who has the scanner buff can locate which panels the operator needs to shoot. To do so, you must first number each panel so that you can have clear communication with your teammates below. We, for our team, chose to label ours 1 through 5. I'll show the order in which we decided to label them, and you guys can choose to do it the same way, or if you have your own way, you can feel free to do that. But we decided to go 1 on the pillar, 2 on the wall, 3 on another wall in dark, 4 on the pillar, and 5 at the back wall. Underneath, for blue, 1 begins on the pillar, 2, 3, and 4 are all also on pillars. And finally, 5 is on the wall right next to 4. I'll show them all on screen again, just so that then you can get a little bit better view as to how they're labeled and outlaid underneath. But that's pretty much the simple layout, and that's what you're going to need to communicate clearly with your teammates in order to successfully get to damage. To start the encounter, one person from the blue team will have to grab the operator buff out of the terminal. Make sure that both teams are on their dedicated sides before beginning the encounter, as the doors will close and you will not be able to get to the other side. The person with the operator buff will then shoot the panel next to the door. This will open another airlock that they will then step into. All doors that are activated by the operator will have a panel associated with them in order to be opened. While the operator makes his way down underneath the main floor, the team on the dark side will have an enemy spawn that will have the scanner buff appear over its head. It is important to have the person who is the dedicated scanner kill this enemy and pick up the buff. It will then run around from pillar to pillar, looking through the glass, identifying which panels the operator needs to shoot. The panels will glow yellow, indicating that that is the correct one. Shoot the wrong one, and the operator will find that the floor above him and underneath him will light on fire, causing him to die instantly. There is no way to survive this, not a well nor a rift can save you. While the dark team communicates which panels the operator needs to shoot, the light team will find that a servitor will spawn. If they do not kill the servitor, the person on the dark side who has the scanner buff will not be able to pass the buff through the terminal over to the light side. So make sure that you identify the servitor, titled Sentinel, and kill it immediately. This will allow you to pass the scanner buff over, so then light side can begin to make their callouts to the operator as to what panels they need to shoot. During this phase, a total of 4 panels will be shot, 2 on dark and 2 on light. Once all 4 panels have been shot, the shields that protect the fuses will then be lifted. When this happens, have the operator pass his buff through the terminal up to the main floor. When it's on the main floor, have a member from the dark side take it out of the terminal so that the member who has the scanner buff can then pass it through the terminal to the person who is now below. They will be able to identify which fuse you need to shoot in order to ensure that you do not die. There is a specific order to do it in, and it is not the same every time, so make sure you're shooting the right ones. Right now, the best way to title these fuses is right, middle, and left on light, as well as right, middle, and left on dark. In order to identify which fuse you need to shoot, have the person down below look above the terminal, and they will see 6 matching fuses, one of which will be glowing yellow, indicating that that is the one that needs to be destroyed. Have the person underneath call out right, middle, left, and which side it's on. The health on the fuses isn't too crazy, but a Xenophage 1000 Voices or some type of Spike Nade GL is what I'd recommend using, and it's a great way to one-phase it. If you don't one-phase, don't worry, you will have to change up your rotation a little bit, and I'll talk about that right now. At the end of the damage phase, the shields over the fuses will then go back down, if you haven't already completed destroying all of them. The person with the operator buff then needs to go to the back of the room where the stairs are and continue down into the under part of the encounter. Have the person who was previously underneath as well, who currently has a scanner buff, come up and out of that room. They will then replace the side, probably black, that the person who just went down in order to fulfill the operator role was on. Continue the encounter like the previous phase, and you will find yourself at the second damage phase. If you do not complete after the second phase, you will have one last attempt in order to complete the encounter. Otherwise, you will have a white mechanic and all die. So, to recap, you will have 2 teams, 1 operator, and 2 scanners. Both teams will clear ads and make sure that they call out to the operator underneath which panels they need to shoot to start the damage phase. Operator then switches his buff out for the scanner, identifies what fuses need to be shot, and then switches roles with whoever has the new operator buff. Do everything right and you'll find that you've completed the encounter and will be able to loot the chest at the end. Continue through the door and you will make your way to the next encounter. Thanks for watching today's video, guys, and I hope you enjoyed. If this was helpful, make sure to leave a like, drop a follow, or subscribe. Also, comment what you guys end up getting out of the raid. Thank you so much for your time. My name has been Graphic Walnut, and as always, Guardians, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.